Students, welcome to my YouTube channel, and now I continue teaching chapter 2 of history from page 26, and I will start from the topic the assembly hall or town hall. Now, beside great bath and great granary, this assembly hall or town hall was another important structure, and this was situated in the citadel of Mohenjo-daro. And it was a large hall mainly for prayer. So people used to gather there for meeting or for prayer. This much only you should know. Next is plan of the lower town. All these things actually come under the heading of town planning. So I'm doing it, but not going into great detail. So the lower town, this was the place where common people, craftsmen, then farmers and all, they lived in this lower town. And the citadel was mainly for the people of ruling class, priests and rich merchants. Now here there were main roads which were very wide and they ran parallel to each other. Most of the buildings in lower town were residential quarters. That means they were used for mainly living purpose. And the houses were sometimes 1 story or 2 stories. And they were built of baked bricks always, and they had a central courtyard. Courtyard is an open place surrounded by rooms on all 4 sides, and the windows always opened in the courtyard. Household activities took place in this courtyard, and there was a hearth was there for cooking, was normally made in a sheltered corner of the courtyard. So this was the place for cooking. They had their own bathing area. They had their own wells. There were terracotta drain pipes. So can you imagine, long time back in history at that time, the drain pipes were made of terracotta. So how scientific was their planning? They used this kind of terracotta is actually prepared by baking. The bricks are burned and then only these things are prepared. So why? These drain pipes were made of terracotta so that they could avoid any leakage and water should not seep in and damage the buildings. So therefore, they did not allow the bricks to soak water, and therefore burnt bricks, terracotta drain pipes were used for draining water from the roofs as well. The main entrance opened into lanes and not the main street. See how well planned the cities were, that the entrance always opened into lanes so that directly the dust from the main road could not enter the household. To keep away the dust, they always made their main entrance, main gate open into lanes and not into main streets. Next, drainage. This drainage system of Indus Valley civilization is regarded as the best example. Drains were built on both sides of the roads. They were connected with each house. They were covered with baked bricks. Each house had its own soak pit. It helped to collect all the sediments. It allowed only the water to flow. Not any other thing from the drain was allowed to flow. Because we see generally in our areas that the drains are filled with other sediments or plastics or something like that, which actually obstructs the passage of water. But at that time they were so well planned that no other sediments were allowed to pass through drains but only water. There were soak pits which absorbed other sediments, and the drains were covered so that they don't emit any foul smell, any bad smell. They did not pollute, and they maintain hygiene. They made a lot of emphasis on hygiene. So see how rational, how scientific their approach was so long time back in history. But nowadays we don't find this kind of planning, no? Okay. Then on page 27, we have the topic society. So let's do that. Rest topics are not coming. Society. See, I have double ticked, so you will also prepare from this one. Different types of houses, division of city into the citadel and the lower town. The presence of barrack-like houses near the granaries suggest that the Indus Valley society was probably divided into 3 classes. So society was mainly divided into three classes. The first one was the ruling class. You know, they lived in the citadel area and they consisted of priests and the rich merchants, those who ruled those areas. Next, second one is the traders. Traders means businessmen, and merchants, artisans and craftsmen. They comprise the second class. They lived in the single or double story houses in the lower town. And the third class consisted of laborers and peasants, that is farmers, and they lived in the barracks. There were rooms close to the granary and they lived in those barracks and carried on the cultivation work. They lived in the surrounding villages. No other topics from this page, so let us move to page 28. From page 28, you have the topic occupations. So agriculture was their main occupation. It was the backbone. Harappans produced sufficient food and grains. Their staple food comprised of wheat, barley, rice, milk and vegetables. So these were their main food. Staple food means main food. A majority of the people were farmers. They were also potters. The discovery of the various equipments made of bronze, copper indicates that they knew this metal work. Other occupations, apart from pottery making and agriculture, what were the other occupations? You see, spinning, weaving, carpentry, masonry, trading, boat making. These were the other occupations, and trade was also another important occupation. There were few traders and merchants, as you have read. And a large number of people were also involved in cattle rearing. They had their cattle, cows, buffaloes, goats. They had their cattle and they reared cattle. No other topic from this page. Now let us move to page 29. From there we will cover the topic trade. Trade and religious beliefs from this page 29. Okay, domestic as well as foreign trade flourished. That means they carried on trade inside their own country and also outside. Now, how could we say that they carried trade? How could we say? What is the proof? Actually, this Mesopotamian seals were discovered from the Harappan cities, and the Harappan seals were discovered from the Mesopotamia, which proved that they had some links, some trade links. Otherwise, how will you find and why will you find the seals? The seals were used for exchange. Nowadays we buy or purchase with the help of money, and at that time seals were used for purchasing. And Mesopotamian seals were found in Harappan cities and Harappan seals were found in the Mesopotamian cities. So this proved that they had a trade relation. There was a dockyard. Dockyard is a place where loading and unloading of ships take place. So there was a dockyard at Lothal. What is the use of a dockyard? Whenever you carry some overseas trade, only then you need ports and dockyards. So the dockyard which was excavated at Lothal, Lothal is a place in Gujarat. From there we came to know that they carried foreign trade. Gold came from present-day Karnataka. This place was very rich in gold. And there were other semi-precious stones which came from Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan. Weights and measures were also used. Like we today use the standard weights of 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kg like this. So weights and measures were also used by merchants. Then from page 29, this religious beliefs topic is included. Several objects have been found that indicates that the people of Indus Valley civilization believed in religion. But interestingly, no temple was found. But we know the great bath was there, which was used for religious purposes. People worshipped some images also. The figure of a male god sitting in a yogic posture surrounded by animals was discovered. Historians believe that this yogic posture was represent Pashupati, that is the Lord Shiva. And some clay figures of female deities were also found. Probably, maybe they worshipped these female deities as mother goddess. Indus people also worshipped trees, birds and animals. and large number of amulets. What is an amulet, students? Amulet is a piece of jewelry that is that generally we see round our neck. Why? To protect against evil. So this kind of amulets were discovered, which suggests that maybe people believed in some evil spirits, and to protect their children from the influence of those evil spirits, maybe these amulets were owned and used by them. Like the people of Egyptian civilization, these people also believed in life after death. So, in the graves, along with the dead bodies, potteries and jewelries were buried. Next page, page 30. We will do the topic decline of the civilization. What were the probable causes or reasons for the decline of this civilization, Indus Valley civilization? It lasted for around 1000 years and it declined around 1500 BCE. There are some reasons. These are discussed below. The first point, maybe this civilization was destructed by natural disasters like flood and earthquakes. Flood and earthquakes took place, maybe which caused the destruction, because there were some evidences, proofs of devastations that were caused by floods, and these proofs of devastation, marks of devastations were found at Mohenjo-daro and Lothal. Some historians, some scholars believed that these people were attacked by superior foreign tribe like the Aryans, and when they were attacked, they could not cope up with the foreign tribe, and this led to the end of the Indus settlement. Next point, change in the climatic conditions. There was a sudden change in the course of river Indus, and when river Indus changed its course, it spoiled many agricultural lands. There was changes in climatic condition which the Indus people could not tolerate. They had to migrate further, and this is how the civilization came to an end. But these changes that took place during that time had a great result, great impact on the influence of the later periods. Indus Valley civilization was actually an urban civilization which developed around cities, but this urban civilization really influenced today's planners and architects. And we know this worship of Pashupati is still very popular in India. The worship of Mother Goddess, that is the female power Shakti, is so popular today. Bullock carts are used. Trend of carving animal pictures and monuments, we can see these things even today. And we see that kajal, kumbs, all these things are used today also. So maybe we came to know about these uses from the people of Indus Valley. Now from page 32, as you can see, the questions are marked. You will also mark these things in your book and prepare. Ticked questions are coming in syllabus. Thank you, students. Thank you for watching the video. Follow the explanation, prepare accordingly, read the chapter inside thoroughly and prepare question answers. Thank you.